Hello everyone, it's FallenDice and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Adventures with FallenDice. So today we are getting back to our fun in the cavern. But first, public service announcement. If you go through all the effort of putting in a fancy failsafe in your engine room, don't bypass it with a couple blocks and some silly little levers, and then walk away and leave it alone, because it will go boom. And take out ceiling, floor, windows, engines from across the way, pipes below. Yeah. So, yeah, I had to go and completely build this from scratch. This entire room was completely gone. But the cool part is I did remember that during our editing, I had missed the fact that that's not working using the wooden conductive pipe. But as long as you have at least a single conductive pipe in line or golden conductive, it will work just fine. So now I have it set up. I can put one of these on the bottom of each set of these banks, flip the switch, and let them charge. Still got my fail safes over here. I can't just leave them and walk away though because of the Buildcraft issues with once that's full, it'll build up and go boom. But it's just a single pipe. It doesn't affect anything around it. So anyway, so that's all good. Now, on to the first part of today's adventures. I need more sandstone. The UU I was using, I went through a couple diamond chests. I have UU left, but I don't want to be wasting it anymore like I was. So what I've decided to do is we're going to make a sandstone generator, which is basically a cobblestone generator feeding into a macerator, feeding into a compressor. And voila, we get sandstone. So I've got a lot of the parts here. Grab the solar array that I was using for the cobble gen over there. Got the cobble gens. I don't know why I was thinking I needed a workbench, but anyway. So let me grab a couple more items. We'll head on over to the cavern, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we are back in the good old cavern. I've made an extra spot up there in which to place my solar array, but then I realize I'm not just doing one solar array, I'm doing 3. So, let's see, we'll get up to this point. Go here and here. I'm going to have to go up and add a little bit more spot up there. I didn't feel like placing this all the way up on the the roof and then running the cable all the way down. That just seems silly when all I really have to do is just have open to the roof. So that's what we're doing. So we'll take this over here, and then we're just going to basically run this down to ground level here. And I think this would be a good spot to place our MFSU. So you will start getting glorious stuff from up there. Now, let's see, just because I don't feel like going all the way back again, we're going to put this back jetpack on. And let's take it off of hover. And we'll go up here, and we'll add our extra holes. And it's probably a good thing I came up to check because I hadn't cleared it all the way to the top. But, yeah, let me do this real fast, and then I'll be right back. Alright, we're back down, and we have sun, sun, and sun. So we're good there, and we're charging up already, so that's good. Now, the next part is, let's see, we gotta figure out where we're gonna do our cobble first. I'm thinking right here's a good spot. So we'll put one here, and let's get you off because I don't need you anymore. Now you'll go there, and then we'll stick our lavas and waters here and here. Alright. Now, I'll add the stuff to it in a little bit. Figure out placements. And actually, you know, I gotta pull my compressor out of get my industrial craft stuff. Alright, I need a compressor, think that's it for industrial right now. I'm definitely going to need to get Buildcraft stuff. But, alright. Oh, no, I did that right now. Let's see. So we'll grab our golden transport for right now, and some regular stone, and 1 iron where they connect. Alright. Let's see. We'll go gold first. 1 from here, 1 from here. That makes them each 2, 3, 4. That's good enough. Alright. Let's see. Macerator can go right here. Let's see. That means we'll take our glass fiber. We'll have 1 coming over here. You know, as many times as I do silly stuff like that, I wonder why I don't learn. Oh, that's funny. Do I have another macerator in my head? I may have to make a trip back if I don't. Let's see. Well, of course not. Right there's my transformer upgrades and stuff. Alright, let me go get me another macerator, and I will be right back. Alright, so we're back. And I think what I'm going to do this time, I think I have to put 2 transformer upgrades because it's low voltage, and that's a high voltage. So I made sure I had enough to do 2 upgrades. And with that, I should be able to connect them. I brought an extra one just in case. Alright. Now, I did use up all the power. So before I go any further, I want to make sure. Because it is dark. Alright. But anyway, so that has us going into there. Now let's see. Buildcraft. I need some Antarctic gates. There we go. Some wooden transport pipes. There we go. Alrighty. So, from out of there, we'll do the... I need pipe signal. And I may actually at some point go and add some other engines to this as well. I don't have any pipe wire. Alright. For now, it's just going to have to be items in inventory, pulse. Eventually I'll get some of the red pipe wire, put it down there, and then that way it'll pump all the time and get warmed up. But we'll also probably put some wood engines here, here, and here to help speed things up, because I plan on running this rather quickly. Now, actually, while I'm here, I do need a... I think it's a sandstone pipe is the one. Hold on, make sure. I think that's the one that will divert to another thing if it's full. Pretty sure. Alright. And then a void pipe on top of that, because we don't want to overfill anything here. So, that goes over here. Actually, no, that needs to go right here. Alrighty. Oops. Okay, there we go. So that's heading into... No, I thought so. That's the one that doesn't go into a pipe if there's anything nearby. That was not the one I wanted. Which one are you? Not sandstone. Did I not have one on my... Oh, insertion pipe. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. There we go. Now what's going to happen is if this is full, it will prevent it from going in there, and it will instead send it to here. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of this pipe here. And we'll stick our iron in that spot. And then I need to change the direction, so we're heading here. Okay, that means it can only go into the macerator. Unless it's full, and then it'll go into the void and disappear. Output will now come through here, and we are good. We have power now, not exploding. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to put at least half of them in here. And I'm going to stick an energy storage upgrade just in case to make sure. Alright. Now, output comes into here. And I think I need at least one of you in this spot here. Now I should be able to connect you. And please don't explode. Dang it! It needed to as well. Well, I only have one of those. I need another one. Okay, I have another compressor, but I'm going to have to go make me another... Or actually, you know what? No, I don't. I think I brought me at least one medium voltage transformer. Let's see. No, I didn't. Okay. Alright, well, I will be right back. Alright, so now we're back. Let's see. Grab our compressor first. You're going there. Okay, now let's go ahead and put two of you, rest of you. Now I should... Whoops, not what I wanted to do. Now I should be able to connect you. Whoa. Okay, good to go. Power there. Power there. Okay, gotcha. Alright, now we can add that in. So now we have cobble into macerator, high speeds, turning into sand, into compressor, high speeds. Now we need to add a wooden transport out with yet another Antarctic. Once again, items in inventory. We'll pulse. And then we'll send that into good old diamond chest. Alright, so right now, as soon as I drop in lava, water, that should actually work. And I should have some lava straight up here. So let's go run over there real fast. And hopefully this should be good to go. And then we'll just have to stand back and enjoy the freeness of our sandstone. And luckily with this one, it's not like the man that UU. I was thinking, man, I could never ever use all my UU up. Boy, did I not know what I was talking about. That went quick. Okay, so that should give us... Okay, there we go. There we go, I think. There we go, yep. Okay, cobble's going in. Sand's coming out. Sand goes in. Sandstone comes out. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Alright. So it is working, but I definitely need to speed this up. So I think because I'm... Man, maybe I need two macerators. Two macerators, and... Because this thing's keeping up just fine. The macerator's not. So if I put a macerator on either one of these, coming straight off, and then combining into here, that might actually work faster. Alright, let me tweak this a little bit, and I'm going to get to work after that, and I'll step back in when I have a little bit of an update to show you. Alright, so I played a little bit more, and whoops, we are moving right along now. Got two wood engines on this one in addition to the red pipe signal. These ones are warmed up, so it's pulling it out as fast as it can. Now my only thing is I'm not filling up too fast. I need to make it faster. So each one of these is feeding their own macerator. Excess going into the void pipe. They're coming over here, feeding this compressor, which is keeping up rather well, but even though, or just in case, I still have that there. I have this so that even when I'm around the outsides here, it'll still be generating sandstone for me. So now I'm going to go back to my base, going to make a bunch more overclockers and maybe a couple more storage upgrades, and then we'll come back and we'll see how fast I can get these Mace Raiders moving. So, how much am I generating the power? Not too bad. I also ended up putting this, it just made it easier than making a ton more of the transformer upgrades. So they just need one each instead of two. So, alright, well, let me play with that, and then I'll be back after, like I said before, after I have a little more progress. Alright, so here's the setup as we went. I went and made me a few more overclockers, so they each got 9 of those. Energy storage, so we're not running out of any power. Moving along pretty quick. Eventually we're going to start backing up now. So what I may end up doing, try to find that fine line where it just kind of hovers. Looks about good. Pretty close. Like I said, this one's going to be building up now. And honestly, it's really not that big of a deal if I do. I'd rather have it go over than not, because it's just, if it fills up in here, it just means it'll send the excess cobble out the top. And then they're just getting pumped through here. And we've actually got to the point where you're overflowing. So actually, you know what? I am going to do that. I'm going to take one from you. And we'll take one from you. And we'll add both of you over here. And hopefully we can prevent losing any of our sand. Oh well. At some point, if I really want to, I can always take and have the sand diverted to a separate, like, diamond chest. So we can just pick up sand. And then, yeah, I can do that. We can have this divert to a second pipe going into a diamond chest. If it fills up, then at that point, it'll divert it to, like, a void pipe. But we're good here right now. We're doing really good. I think once... Yeah, that's keeping up fine. Yeah, I got all the sandstone that I need now. So, alright, I'm going to get back to work on the outsides here, start filling this all in, and when we're ready to start mapping out some of our actual structures, we'll be back. I have more sandstone than I could think to do with. So at the moment I've got everything turned off. And good old slimes. And then that brings us to our next part of this, and that is the layout. Get some food here. So, I've done a little playing around in creative just to kind of see how things would look size-wise. Because when I initially designed this, I have a Excel spreadsheet that I had graphed out, and I'll show that here in a moment. And the Excel spreadsheet had the main pyramid being 80 blocks wide, and that would be there all the way over to where Creeper is. That's a bad Creeper, needs to die. Let's see, it should be good. Okay, so over to here, and then all the way down to there. So as you can see, it's got that real large feel to what I wanted this to be, considering how much space I have and the height it fits. However, it then needs to go almost another 50 to 100, no, see, it was 270, so another 100 blocks that way and that way. And obviously at this point it doesn't go far enough. So that would mean I have to do a lot more work on clearing and TNTing to be able to do the city the way I want it in this space at the scale I want. So then I thought, well, if I divide it in half, so instead of 80, it'd be 40. And that means that it would only be this big. And it definitely loses the grand scale of it, not to mention it's only half as tall, and it's just such a huge waste of space. So what we come down to now is trying to decide if we want to, well, first off, I'm going to build the large one, regardless of what other decisions we make. This was just too small, and I'll show you in creative how it looks, and it's just not enough. It needs to be the full size. But then the other decision is, do we change the design of the city? Because I could make it different and fit it into the space that I have allotted here just fine, but it wouldn't be the replica that I've been, you know, kind of wanting to do. They must be spawning up here. I'm thinking that's what the problem is, because the light down in these levels is fine. But anyway, so I could either change the design of the city, which I would kind of prefer not to, or I'm going to have to go bigger. And I'm probably going to have to go bigger. I think that's, you know, with all the work I've already put into this, it wouldn't be the same to go short. So I think that's kind of going to be our plan. Now the other thing is, we can start working on the main pyramid. That way I can get my portal in and the main base thing going, and then from there figure out how far we go and start expanding from here. I can use fillers to kind of, you see like up here already, this is where I'd used a core at some point, and I'd always plan on using some dynamite, some sticky dynamite to throw up there to kind of rough it up. But what I can do is I can use fillers to just keep widening out at a certain height, and then again get the dynamite as I build the buildings and stuff, or use a jetpack to go up and stick it around and kind of tweak it a little bit. But I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. But before we go any further into that, let's kind of do some showing off of exactly what it is that we're planning on doing here, kind of to give you an idea, because right now I just, you know, the stuff I'm saying, it probably doesn't really mean as much. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording here, and I'm going to bring up some things to show you, and we'll talk a little more there. Alright, so here's what the plan is. And what this is a model of, and I'm not the best at the pronunciation, but I think what we're going to be calling this Tenician City, or yeah, but it was the Aztec capital before the Spanish made it over to Mexico and basically took over, and it's an impressive city. It sat where present-day Mexico City now sits. Right here in the center, this was the centerpiece, and what I plan on making my centerpiece as well. It's the Templo Mayor, I think that's how it's pronounced, and it said this is the thing that's 80 blocks wide at the base. So you can kind of see how far it has to go out to the left to get to make it all fit exactly to scale to the model that we want to make it. And considering the size of the buildings here, I think if I had gone half blocks, it would have just not, it wouldn't have been the same. So we really need to go the full size. But that I want to do first. And like I said, then these ones can be lower, but they have to definitely go higher for the corners. And this is going to be a long project. It's going to take a while to do this. But hopes are when we're all completed that this thing will really look cool. So let me show a couple more pictures here of the city. Some more old drawings and things like that. Some of these aren't always the same, so it's like I think there may be differences of how it may have looked. But you know, no matter which one, it really, this here is what I want, and I want it to look, you know, as close as I can to, you know, how it really did look. Let's see. So I go through some more of these pictures that I downloaded. There's even some videos and stuff. This is, I think, at the I don't know what museum it is. It's in Mexico, but it's like the National Museum or something. A really good drawing, but it makes it easy to kind of copy. But you can see in this one how it's just got two pyramids off to the side as opposed to that big thing in the middle. So it's like this is the same, that's the same, these are the same, so it just kind of changes that. So I may end up maybe, I'll show the design that I did, and it basically took a while to kind of go through and graph it out. But the cool part is by going with that design here, I have this, which made it a lot easier to kind of sort this out on the Excel sheet. But let's get that down. Let's see. bring up this here over here. Alright, and let's shrink it down a little bit. So you can kind of see it's very similar to that one. I was using that as my design. But, you know, going from here to here, we're at 80 blocks. And the outside of this side temple to the other side temple was 270 blocks. So I definitely have a lot more work to do. And I hadn't quite finished up with the bottom ones here, but, you know, this was the first part. And this just alone here was probably going to take me quite a bit to get taken care of. But when completed, I really am excited as far as how it'll end up coming out. I just love that fact that I have so many different views that I can use to kind of base this off of and really work to get it to this point. But, so anyway, so that's that. Now the thing is that we'll go into creative and I'll kind of show you why I have to go big. Because just the mock-up of the small one was not enough. Alright, so here we are, and this is at the half-size temple. So this thing is 40 blocks wide. And this right here, this won't be here on the permanent one because some of the additions upcoming to Burp Mod is going to give us some 1/4 and 1/8 size blocks that can fill in these types of spots here. So this will be a straight shot up. As you can see up here, I started just kind of throwing this up there. It's obviously it's angled from the pictures we showed, but these are just to kind of get a feel for what you would see from the outside. And I don't know, it wasn't impressive enough. I mean, this would be about the size you'd expect of the small temples off to the side, not the big one. So we're definitely going to go big. And I was just playing here with some of the ways of doing circles using the vertical half slabs to get some good angles for the part that sits right in front of here. And then of course we got these here, which we can use for the ramparts at the top. I just wish I'm probably going to have to use these ones as opposed to the vanilla ones, because as you can see, this one puts the little taller thing there, which is what I would expect to see in the top of a wall. Although this one, it goes all the way to the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. There's stuff that we can play with and work on when we get to that point in it. But yeah, definitely not big enough. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. Let's head back over to Burpcraft and let's kind of make a plan for how we want to proceed ahead from here. Alright, so we're back, and yesterday was an interesting day. Long day at work, but I'm lucky enough to be able to play a little Minecraft while I'm at work. So, you know, working on the old pyramid and some kind of designs as far as how I wanted it to look, slopes and things like that. But while I was at work, at least a couple different times, the server crashed again. And it would appear that the reason for all the late issues with, like, you know, the server crashing, lags, and a lot of things like that is the fact that all the people on the server are all off in their own areas doing the same thing, you know, industrial crafts, you know, and sorting systems and all kinds of chunk-loaded types of items, and it was taxing the server to the point that it would crash without anyone actually doing anything incorrectly. There was too much going on. So the solution, unfortunately, was basically to start a new map. And man, really, for me, not an option that I'm very excited about, or was very excited about. And I'll be honest, as all the discussions were going on, I was very quiet, you know, not sure what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to just have one LP, you know, not to be having to go back and forth, just because of the amount of time I have. I don't want to be spending a lot of time doing two different things. And the idea being proposed for the new map for the server was going to be one of community, everybody's building one large project for energy and things that everybody uses instead of everybody doing it. And I understood the reasoning for that, in that, that was part of the problem for the server. But part of the fun of the game, too, is, learning the different, different mods or just the redstone or whatnot and seeing what you can create and the cool stuff. So, yeah, I definitely was not super thrilled with kind of what things were kind of getting proposed. But eventually I think we kind of settled on something that I think is going to work rather well, and that is adding quite a few more mods to try and round out the play using the Feed the Beast launcher so that we can easily update things. But one of the big updates is going to be Mistcraft. And we had talked about that when we first were figuring out which mods to bring to the server, and we thought that, we don't want to be able to abuse the heavy ore worlds or things like that. But the thing that's making this work now is the fact that each one of those ages, each one of those worlds is going to have its own tick count. So, if there's 15 people on the server and they're all running huge things, it's not going to lag the server because each one of those are on its own. And it looks like that's the solution. So it looks like we're going to be doing that. But the other issue is all the work I did in my cavern. And again, you guys probably don't know how much time I spent in there, but I spent hours and hours, probably 200 to 300 hours down there, getting it to the point where I could actually start building. And man, I really didn't want to have to start that over. So what it looks like is they're going to basically my world, because we're not going to be able to make our own worlds the Mistcraft way. RenEvo is going to give us each a book that's going to be our world. We'll have some input into what we want, but it's going to be given to us. So it looks like I'm going to get the old server world, and it's going to be completely reset except for pretty much my cavern, just so I don't have to redig that out, because the amount of work that goes into that, I couldn't do it again. So I'll be starting, once we get to the point where we can move back out, that'll be my area. So I can continue working, up until the server gets reset. I can continue working on the pyramid now, because at the point we end this server, they'll save it, and then when we finally do get our new worlds, at some point once spawn and everything has been done properly, I will get the old server world with my cavern, and I can kind of start working on it again. So, with that said, I definitely did some work on designs and things. So here about would be the height right now, and this is with the 80. It's 80 wide, and I only did the half slabs on one side to kind of get a feel for how it would look. And this was when it was only going to be 1.5 different on the edges. And to me that almost looked like it was still going up too straight. So then I decided to extend that and came up with this look. And this to me looks a whole lot better. It actually really looks like we got the different layers on it. And then of course the stairs. And I did this at work, on my laptop, so I kind of was working with some of the designs for the building. So you got the little, side building out there, and I think it's really actually going to turn out pretty well. I also did a lot more work on my Excel sheet, kind of doing some more design stuff. But I think what we'll do for now, as we wait for the new server to be oh, I got oil over there. As we wait for the new server map to be put in place and things like that, I'm going to continue working with all that sandstone that I collected. Since I got it, and everything that I have in my world will be gone. All the chests are going to be wiped out. All the machines are wiped out. I will be starting from scratch just like everybody else. The only difference is that big hole in the ground will still be there, so I don't have to recreate, redig that out. And of course, whatever I happen to build inside there, so I can we'll use up as much stone as we can, or sandstone, to kind of get the basics of the pyramid. And of course, we'll have to wait to get the corner edges. But we can definitely get some work done here. And so I think that is what I'm going to do in my next episode, is I'm going to get as much done on the pyramid as I can. And it looks like this coming weekend is going to be when the server will be reset. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode. And again, I think we're definitely making good progress. And luckily the progress is going to continue. But once the server, again, like as we said, it's going to be probably a month before I get back to work on this, maybe. And actually, probably I'll be doing a lot of beginning stuff. But, yeah, this should still look pretty good. I'm excited for the future of this and some of the new cool stuff we'll be getting in the new server. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.